Yeah, fix that stubborn issue. I still don't want to just along the same old bags of it.
Well, I guess the game I was playing earlier.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, Mike. That's funny.
I saw it.
I know you post. You do a little forward post. Wow.
Here's your cards.
Just put them up there. I'll pop it back.
Or something, but I don't know what.
Oh well.
I know.
So let's talk.
Okay, let's talk.
Now what? I thought we were gonna play a game.
Here's the thing. We have less than an hour and a half left before we're supposed to take Bashire home. She wants to leave at 10 o'clock. So, if we have anything serious we want to discuss with Bashire, now's the time to do it. Or we could skip that, and who knows when the next time we'll be available to hang out again. And just play video games, or card game or something. That's the conundrum.
Alright, let's make this short, quick talk.
Okay,
About what?
what are we gonna talk about?
I was going to complain about my mental problems, but why should I be bragging about that? If just right now I just have a headache. I'm just... Why should I spoil your fun?
Okay.
You didn't tell them about on
I didn't tell who.
the thing the thing.
What's it about?
Strictly confidential. Just before you went on Harry's car last time.
No.
Okay.
No, I did not.
Hmm?
The one that was confidential.
I confess that I had temporarily blocked the share while I figure out who was really trying to talk to me or you, Cam, because Max kept using your phone, so I wasn't sure who was who.
No.
Because, you know,
I didn't tell them.
okay, because I don't want them to go run off with that idea. Say, ooh, I'm so blah, 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 blah. I'm not the bad guy here. But really, I got my struggles, they got theirs, but it just... I have some complaints.
About what?
Of the unusual kind, actually. I keep having recurring nightmares. And it's not the same one, it's just It ranges from random to stupid ones. Some that seem to be like feeble attempts to scare me or whatever. And this is going on for the last 5 months. Every night, every other night, and sometimes I wake up and I have another nightmare. Another wakes me up in the night, or I end up wake like literally late last night, or was it Friday night? I woke up in the middle of the morning. I woke up at 4:20 a.m. starving to go get a snack. It's like all of a sudden I woke up with the midnight munchies, and I had 2 whole sandwiches. Actually,
Yeah,
2
that was Friday
half
night.
subs.
That was Friday night.
That was Friday night. I had 2 half subs, which makes 1 whole sub, from Planet Sub.
And you're full after you ate it.
I was full after 8, and then I woke up at 4:20 a.m. Like it's almost like it's some kind of joke time to me, because I know 4:20 is like related to the whole joke about weed and weed makes you hungry or whatever. I'm like, I never smoked that stuff. I never smoked anything. I hated smoke. I even have nightmares that seem to be directed directly towards Max or Harry.
Here we go.
Now, I don't know why, but that went. I know that for at least for a period in January, I kept having nightmare after nightmare that I'm supposed to get mad at them, I'm supposed to hate them, this, that, but they're trying to screw me over. But then, well, like it was still kind of amateurish, so it didn't exactly faze me, but it just was annoying.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can I interrupt him?
This time you could just put it as Cam.
May you? So you can basically verbally do so, but I'm tired of being interrupted and ignored by everyone. And a cumulative conversation every day. It's like I want to say something, I can't get a word out, but someone else keeps talking. Or or I am saying something, I try to say something, and they don't even get past the first sentence, then they start going blah 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 and talk over me.
Okay.
When we work, where am I home? Even when I'm talking about my friends. It's really annoying.
Okay, now I'm gonna say something.
Bashire, you can say your comment, but then I still have more to say on it. Because it doesn't make any sense to me, personally, that I should be directing anger or fear toward them. Because your friends are a bunch of weenies. Bunch of whiners.
Okay, now I want to say something, and I know I should not interrupt, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Mikey, if you have an issue with Max, deal with him. Don't get me involved.
That's just it. It's not Max who I'm having an issue with, but something keeps messing with my mind to try to trick me to do so. And I've so far been refusing to follow it and just trying to find ways to just shut down that trade.
Like I said,
What I'm talking about here, Bashir, is something doesn't add up. Sure, Max is a big jerk, and now he's virtually out of the picture, but yet I felt like there was still something more pulling the strings behind Max's behavior, Coda's behavior, even yours. And possibly Harry was involved, and And maybe if I went way out on a limb, like maybe Patrick, I don't know. But the way I felt stalked, mentally attacked, my dreams have been violated when I sleep. On repeated occasions, I keep having nightmares that don't make any sense because they're directed at a particular person, and it's like someone's targeting me to have mental dysfunction. And that's what I want to complain about. Of all the things I've survived during that onslaught of negativity that Matt Zinski threw at me, the one thing I didn't learn how to do was defend my mind. I defeated a spiritual threat, but I didn't exactly manage to oust the mental one. The conflict ended before I could do that, but the damage remained. Now, some of it over time healed, others remain hidden, and if I was to go by my current feelings, some things are squatting in my mind, and I felt a presence in it that's not beneficial to me, but it's hampering my mental performance. It's like, you imagine a ring of light, your donut, around your head, but right in the middle, where a lot of critical functions are, such as memory, third eye, your crown, and other stuff. I'd be locked out. I can't get in. I can't even get close to it. And it's just frustrating. Now I start having suspicions of dark magic going on, or somebody's pulling the strings of this or that on somebody else's behavior. Or something else is going on. Something else doesn't add up, because I believe there was a paranormal element to the whole, 6-month long, quote-unquote, feud. For just Matt and Max to just switch on a dime to be okay people to just complete jerks for a while and never talk to us didn't make any sense. And then you exhibited similar behavior that you had before at the time when it started, and then you kind of started just avoiding me and then started getting mad at me about stuff, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. It's like you just flipped over like a 180 from being my friend to friend me. I'm like, I did not need that. And I've been wondering about this puzzle of why and how did that all start. And if I want to trace back every text message I have from you, and the general timeline of events that happened, everything went downhill when the Tallows trap blew up. Sure, we're all grateful that we're out of that Tallows trap never sprung, it never happened, but Matt's mental state exploded. And, in the aftermath of it, just all that darkness had to go somewhere. To find someone who would be miserable enough for those evil things to prey upon. And you and your miserable friends would be an excellent candidate for that. Michael Harris, especially, because he totally exhibited the classic characteristic of misery-loves company. He kept hanging out with Harry over and over again every weekend, and every time I talk to you, you say you're going to Harry's house. You seem to be fine when I talk to you. you know, even when you're in here in person, and then you go to Harry's house and you complain about your problems with Harry, Harry complains about your problems, and then when you come back, I talk to you again after the weekend, you're more miserable than when you started. And I gotta figure out why that was. And so then I asked you, can you check to see if there's anything unusual over there? And have you experienced anything? And you said yes. You said in the message that apparently there were some dark spirits that you had encountered. There was some shadow moved over here, or a lot of negativity there, and some other weird stuff had been going on. Some of it was specifically concentrated in Harry's room. So that was like, aha, there's some dark paranormal activity going on in this house. That's a red flag for big trouble later on. And then you kept hanging out with him, and the more you hung out with Harry, I saw you get worse and worse. You went from starting to make progress to just going way downhill. So you just went from, you were starting to build yourself back up, and then you started just breaking yourself down. And I couldn't stand you I just didn't get it. You kept saying you were trying to get away from your problems at home, but the more you left your home to go to Harry's house, the more it seemed like you swapped your problems for his problems. So it's like, you didn't resolve your problems by running away from your problems. You swapped homes with problems. So, in a sense, you actually made it worse, because then your problems became doubled. Because now you had 2 homes of problems that you was going to. And like, I had a few times last year you came over here, like, and I spent 3 hours talking to you, and you were very apprehensive, very antagonistic, and you kept saying, I'm to blame this, I'm to do this, I'm to do that, and we kept going back and forth until finally you saw it my way. Finally you understood. I was telling you the truth the whole time, but it took me 3 hours to get the truth through your thick skull that I wasn't bluffing you, I wasn't to blame, and I wasn't the bad guy. But yet, somehow, some way, your mind had been tricked to believe otherwise. Like trying to make me seem like to you that I'm your enemy when I never was. I couldn't figure out what was going on in your head. You even took 3 hours with bottle caps on a duct tape card table just to figure out who's blaming this to untangle a complex web of drama that, in the end, you had nothing to really do with. You didn't even need to worry about at least half of that. But yet you were stressed out. And when we were stressed out, it was like personally stressing you out. Or so-and-so's friend's a friend. Like, dude, your bubble doesn't need to go that far. You don't need to worry about that many people. You concern yourself with those closest to you. Because those will matter more in the long run.
Mikey, you're going way too far back. Just get to the situation.
Actually, I went that far back to tie that point to the present. Because now, when you were here, while you were busy hanging out with Harry, and you went downhill, and that darkness blew up and spread across everywhere, then it's like a whole country went mad with all these liberal people playing. It was just like an incredible synchronicity. Just that many people being that, like, acting like a mixture of Nathan and Matt, all being a bunch of whiners with transgender issues. Publicly talking about it. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate people in general. I don't agree with it, because some of it doesn't make any sense. But it's just like it's all over the news. All over. No, I was asleep. Thank goodness I don't live in California. It's too liberal. And then, you know, all that craziness of the summer happened after the fallout from the Tallows in May, and then the presidential election happened. Things got real, and Trump won, and then Trump actually got down to business and started doing his real work. But
hold up, stop, time out. You skipped some parts. I'm sorry, I'm going to stop you there. You skipped some parts. You skipped the part about the birthday incident. You just went straight from the summer all the way to the election.
what was election day?
November.
I'm sorry, I thought it was September. I was gonna say, I'm tired. I have a headache. It's late at night. I'm sorry. Yeah, but then, like August, for example. August, September, you guys, I think you maybe Koenig. I don't remember for sure. We were still hanging out with Koenig. We didn't have a problem with Koenig. Koenig was still okay guy. Sometimes it was helpful. You know, you still came over to hang out once in a while. And then we even played Cards Against Humanity for the first time. And then Cameron's birthday incident happened. And then things
Which I was
really...
not there.
Yeah, you weren't there at that time, but then Koenig and Max Broom came over for Cam's birthday, which was, you know, I don't have to keep saying it. You said at the door, this is Cam's birthday. Treated it as such.
Just go on.
You know, and then that whole thing blew up. I had to rescue his party after those jerks left. Took dumped 2 craps and left. With not even a thank you or excuse me. No apologies whatsoever. And then I just called them up and say, why did you do that? And Koenig just said, oh, I don't feel so well. I don't want to talk to you right now, Mike. And the next thing I know, I get a call from you saying, now they're trying to blame us for being bad guys. Said, oh, somehow we owe them an apology for crashing their birthday party. It was like, it wasn't their birthday party. It was Cam's. This isn't this house is not a bachelor pad for frogs. You don't have to be ugly and disgusting. Especially don't have to be vulgar about it either. So then, 6 months of silence go past.
But then I came back to talk.
You skipped over one important detail.
What's that?
You skipped over the Wednesday night. I got off work, and I went over to pick you up on a Wednesday. I called you ahead. I've been reminding you 2 weeks in advance that we were going to go to Miracles of Joy to visit Neil the Healer, and we were going to get your aura checked out and find out what metaphysically was wrong with you, because we've all been wanting to know that to get a better idea of how we can help you. We know you've had all these issues at home, issues in your head. Not to mention, or actually not to forget, the one time I sat down and talked to you for a couple hours right here about how I just figured out that Charlie was a demon the whole time. Charlie was evil.
Which I already know.
No, you didn't know that at the time.
I didn't know that at the time.
That's what I'm saying. At the time, you didn't know that. When I explained the theory to you, suddenly it clicked, and you're like, aha, now it all makes sense. So then you went to meditate. You were meditating for a good 20 minutes. You was like asleep. You was out. I even took a picture of you meditating, which apparently Patrick laughed at.
Why did you take that picture after I told you not to?
You didn't say not to. You just said, I'm going to find out what happened.
Yeah. In peace. I didn't want to be disturbed.
I didn't disturb you. There was no flash.
Okay. Go ahead.
Besides, my table was full of rocks mine.
Anyway, go on.
Anyway, and then you went into your mind, and then you described what you had told me previously that, disgusting portal was still there that you couldn't destroy with your own imagery. You couldn't get rid of it. Something else must have put it there. And evil little things are going in and out in that place. I hesitate to say the D word because my cat doesn't like it either. She will hiss if I say it. Or if I say the big bad S word. I don't like saying it because it's, you know.
I know what you mean. Go on.
So, anyway, I listened to you talk about the state of your mental affairs. That some of your apparently some of your old personalities that you locked up in jail, that you jailed in your head years ago, instead of merging with them. For whatever reason. I guess you didn't understand how that process was supposed to work. No, you did more of a Final Fantasy turn-based battle or something like that, like or some kind of Mario Luigi Superstar kind of
No,
thing.
that was Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy, yeah. And you're like, well, you asked me to hold your hand so you get a power boost. Like, okay, I didn't understand how that had anything to do with merging, because Matt did at the same time you did. Like, and Kaczynski successfully merged with some of them, but you didn't do that. You just captured them, put them in jail. Most of them. But then, when you visited this jail again this year, when you was meditating, you told me that apparently the jail had been broken into, and it was all the jail was very damaged, like it had been attacked. You know, parts of it like it had been cut up or blown up, and you don't know who did it. You asked, I think it was Rick or whoever.
Rick.
And he said he didn't want to leave his jail because he was safer there. I think that's what it was.
He said he didn't want to leave something. I don't know.
Something broke in to break Timmy out, and some other things got out too. And then there was a bunch of trouble outside when it happened. But whatever happened some time ago without you knowing about it. I don't remember exactly how long ago that was. It was one of those things I wish I had recorded. I didn't have a webcam at the time. But I'm getting to the point. That basically your mental state had been shifting in and out of being broken to just under some dark influence. To only occasionally being you. An okay version of you. But I've been trying to understand what's really going on in your head. You know, all that stuff that happened in your head, you described it while meditating. Wow. Interesting, because, well, there's a bunch of questions. How did that happen? Why? When did this happen? Blah, blah, blah. We never resolved that or answered. I never got an answer to most of those questions, because then later we just got busy with our lives again. The school year started back up, things got stressful and very busy. You know, then we got to play Cosmic Humanity a couple times, and then birthday incident happened. I never saw you for another 6 months until this year. So you meditated and I talked to you in 2016, not this year. And to my knowledge, that evil portal is still there.
Can I?
Oh, wait, I remember what I was going to do. Because you described all the issues in your mind, and then I took you to Neil's house. I took you over to see Neil, and then they described what your aura was, and how many holes it had in it. And it was filled with darkness. And you had a tug-of-war, one big dark angel was pulling your head, and one small light angel was pulling your legs. and you had Tug-of-War, and usually struggling because it was big. One had a big pull, one had a smaller pull. And you was the rope. So in some sense, maybe some part of you or some of the victim. The other part is, do you really want to participate in being Tug-of-War for your own head? It's a war on for your mind. What do you do about it? Your mind's a battleground. How do you resolve it? So, all that chaos inside of you and around you happened with your family, your mind, and your friends being crazy. All that. And then 6 months of silence from you, and after the birthday incident happened, with all of a sudden Max's switched to being dark, was being a total jerk out of nowhere when he used to be sort of okay. Koenig went weird for a while, and then he leveled out and turned himself right side up. Like, okay, but Max just went, kept on going down. And now he's down and out. He's away where he belongs.
Can I say something now?
So, what I don't get this year, after all that happened last year in 2016, and now here in 2017, what's really going on with you? How are you so cheery? And who or what has really been behind this whole ordeal for the last year of conflicts and deception?
Now, can I talk now?
You may talk. That's still the question I was getting to.
Okay, let's recap. The Tallows. Yes, I was angry with you, but I let that one go. You were right. It was a death trap, so we moved on from that. Then the school semester started again. I lost my job. I had to get a new one. So I got a new one, and the reason you haven't seen me is because I've been so busy with my new job. And when I tried to wish Cam happy birthday, Max got the wrong impression that I was going to start drama again. Then the birthday incident occurred, and then all of a sudden,
All the way.
wait, where's...
Still coming the other side.
Then all of a sudden, birthday incident came in. Then you guys talked to Matt Koenig. Matt got upset, and I got a phone call from him. Then you said you got a phone call from me. All I said was that they want you guys to apologize. Just for being rude, that's all. Then, when I was at Mike's, the other Mike's house, I had another episode. I had a massive fight with my brother. I had a massive fight with my mother. I couldn't take it no more, and I told Mike H about this. I told him I only have one solution left, and that solution is I will divorce my mother. I will divorce her. I will cut my brother out of my life. If that's where it goes to that extreme length, I will go to the police and put my brother back in jail. And if it causes a strain between my mother and I, that's fine. She wants a war, then she got one against her own kid. Then I came. You missed one part. I did came back just to talk. I came back just to talk to see if I can get you guys to resolve this. But then all of a sudden, you came up with the rules, and then that's when I said I don't agree because they're not going to agree with that demand. It's like you completely shut out what I was trying to do just to be peace, to make peace about this.
No, I made the rules so we can prevent that from happening again. Because apparently, unless the rules are clearly stated on the walls, as plain as the writing on the wall, some people are apparently going to come in here and try to take advantage of it. And
Okay.
assume, oh, there's nothing written here, so I guess there's no rule. I can do whatever I want.
Okay. Well then, let's continue on here then. Then I thought I got 30 you guys, but apparently that didn't work. So all of a sudden, there was still conflict. Then, if I remember correctly, I called you guys and asked you about a recording. I said I couldn't name any names and someone told me about it. But you guys kind of figured it was Matt who told me. I only ask you guys, can you delete the recording? You completely asked me why, and I said, I don't want you guys to get in any trouble.
And we explained the recording in question you were asking about was about like my Harris talking so fast in the wind in the car with bad reception. We couldn't understand what he was saying. We told you we had to record him. He started talking so fast and breaking up. I couldn't understand what he was trying to say. That's when we asked him 3 times in a row to repeat what he said. And even when that didn't work, we're like, okay, whatever. We'll just talk later. He was too angry. He just came up. He got too angry, and well, he switched the phone back to you. So I'm like, okay, sorry, but we couldn't understand him. I get like 1 bar of reception on my phone in my room, and he's out there driving in, and I don't know. I guess he had the window down or something. Because I kept hearing some of the wind blowing, and he kept breaking up. So when he went from all I heard was I can't make sense of that.
Can I translate what he was trying to tell you?
Well, you don't have to, because the recording we managed to get out.
Yeah, because then after we hung up, we listened to the recording in super slow motion, just to
About 5 times.
about 5 times to make sense, try to make sense of what he was saying. And the gist of what we got about was he was just complaining about how his mom runs his house. And like, well, I don't have anything to do with that.
You missed some parts.
Like, I wasn't even. Oh, he's trying to accuse me of being rude to him when he's the one that came into my house, looking like he's in a trance, half brain dead, going, I don't know, I have a lot on my mind. Like, are you okay, dude? No, I'm fine. I have a lot on my mind.
Okay, Mikey.
You know, but all I did was talk to him about my 64. He said, why haven't you played the 64 in a while? Because I was like, well, because my controllers are broke. I don't have the money to buy new ones. And right now it's not a priority. I have more important things to do than get new controllers to buy 64 games.
During a Smash Bros. Fight y'all who was in, you constantly yelled at him.
I did.
He did not yell.
They did not yell at him. For one thing, we were literally playing a Smash Bros. Melee match. I was down to the last 20 seconds of the match. 20, maybe 30 seconds of the match. And he comes up.
And he interrupted him.
He interrupted me while I'm one-on-one with Max. He's playing Mark. I think I'm playing Captain Falcon.
You were playing Captain Falcon.
I'm playing Captain Falcon. And we were really duking it out. And it could have gone either way. And then Harry walked up, got a little bit in front of my view, and distracted me and started talking to me.
He was trying to have a conversation with you.
But he could
Bad time.
had a bad time. He's sitting here, even sitting here watching the match, you could see there was the countdown timer, and he just got up, walking like, hey Michael, I'm sitting right here, and now I'm like, he's in my view, and it's talking to me, and then I'm like, not now, man. Can you wait a minute, please? The match is almost over. He's like, okay, and he got to sit back down. And then it's not till a phone call, he suddenly gets mad about it. I asked him to just wait a minute so I could talk to him after the match was over. But because he distracted me and because he distracted me like he did, I lost the match. Because then I lost my focus. It's an intense match with me and Max, and I'm really trying hard to win. And he totally distracted me, threw off my groove, threw off my concentration, and then I lost the match. All because of Harry. Harry the Chipmunk cost me the match.
Okay, first off, I'm gonna stop you right now. Because like I told Max, I am sick and tired of people judging him.
Judging him?
No, I told Max straight up, I am sick and tired of him judging him. Because that's what happened when I snapped at him. I almost lost control.
When Max judged somebody?
You talking about Max or Hell?
Max!
Oh, okay.
The point is, he said that you were rude to him. Then all of a sudden you blocked him.
That's skipping over a lot of details.
Okay, I'm still talking about the recording.
I didn't block Harry until he attempted to sue us.
Which I said I was trying to prevent for that to
And
happen.
that's why we blocked him.
That's why we blocked him, to prevent him.
You should have just left it alone and let me handle it.
Do you have a lawyer handy?
No,
Then you're not equipped to handle a legal matter.
I was... See, you doing it again. You dismissing what I'm trying to tell you.
No, you're not understanding the situation.
I ain't understanding.
Do you understand the gravity of the situation? He was going to levy a legal accusation. Which, by the way, according to the letter of the law of the FCC's communications and recording law, it specifically states that since another phone was used to record the conversation with the permission of one of the parties involved, it is legally allowed to be recorded.
I mean, did you ask me if it was okay?
We were the other party.
We were the other party. So, since he was talking to me, all I needed was my permission to record it. Because I'm one party involved, he's the other party involved. You're a passenger in his car. You're not involved.
You're not involved with the conversation.
You're not directly involved in the conversation.
So
it didn't matter if he would have tried to sue us, it would have fallen flat.
Because it was not considered like wiretapping.
It wasn't wiretapping, it wasn't hacking, it wasn't illegal, it was legally allowed, we were legally allowed to do so.
And it was definitely not an invasion of privacy.
Yeah, and we didn't do it to be mean about the guy. We tried to decipher what the heck he was saying because he talked too fast. And he wouldn't slow down because he got too mad to talk slow. So I'm like, what are we supposed to do? We tried explaining that over and over again. I heavily rehashing that same conversation because it happened, very end of July? Maybe it was August. I don't remember. But it was many months ago, last year in 2016. It doesn't matter anymore. Because legally, we would have won anyway. Because it was legal allowed by law. So, he couldn't. Probably his lawyer would have laughed at him once he got the details, and it would have dropped the case if he tried to go through with it. Second of all, it was downright rude of him to just, without even talking to us or even asking us directly about what the recording was about, which I asked you, did he know anything about the recording? And you're right there with him. He said he didn't know what it was. Did he know what was on the recording? He said he didn't know what was on it. So you telling me he was going to sue us based on a recording he knew nothing about and knew nothing
Okay,
on.
stop. Repeat that question again. Did he knew?
Yeah, did he knew what was in it?
No. Did he knew he was being recorded? Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm asking about did he know about the recording?
No, because he found out because he was listening in on my phone call. He was right there when I was talking to you on the phone.
When it was recorded?
No. Say for instance, he's right here. I'm in here, talking to you on the phone. Do you see the pattern here? Move your chair this way. Say the TV is right here. And you right here, just on your TV. I'm on the phone, talking to you. See the distance right there?
You mean you overheard that?
Yes!
And you're talking to who?
I was talking to you and Mikey.
Okay.
What are you doing? What's he doing?
Keep talking.
Okay. He overheard it. And I ask you guys, can you delete the recording? So there'll be no more drama, no more incidents to be occurred?
Well, that's the thing, Bashire. It wasn't the recording itself that was dramatic. It was his reaction to the drop, to overhearing mention of a recording of him that got him all riled up.
Which I did not want him to get riled up on. That's why I did not want him to go into that legal way. And frankly, Mike, you should have been grateful that I tried to prevent that from happening.
Well, you don't believe me? I have the recording.
No, I said you should have been grateful. I told you I was going to prevent that from happening.
He's trying to appeal to you, dude. That's where he was coming from.
Uh-huh.
But it seems you kind of got the message mixed up, Mikey.
I'm not sure I reckon.
Mikey?
I'm not sure I understand his approach. Dude. Oh, dude. Did you call back?
Hello?
Hello? You called off.
The call keeps dropping.
I know.
Okay. What I was trying to say was, he was trying to appeal to you, trying to have a conversation with you, to understand where you come from, but it seems to me like, well, this is what I'm trying to say. kind of got the message because maybe you guys understood what he was trying to tell you. Yeah, I'm trying to understand where you're coming from, Michael. And one thing is that I know that you have a rough situation going on right now, so I thought just understandability that you were talking about your priorities and such. But it gave me a speak for thing. And apparently thought it was unnecessary fear when all I was trying to do was understand what you were saying. And as it is right now, already dealing with a horrible relationship with mother.
Go. That's how garbled he sounded.
Okay, just end this.
That's what I'm talking about. He sounded like that. I couldn't understand what he was saying.
Okay.
We both couldn't understand.
Neither.
Me and you.
Alright. Just look.
That's my
point is-
proof. That we couldn't understand what he was saying.
Okay.
Now do you believe me?
I do believe you. I didn't say I didn't believe you.
Yeah, but now that you've heard it, that gives me extra credibility to what I've been trying to say all along.
I didn't say I didn't believe you, Mikey. I just said, can you just delete the recording? I want to ask you on the phone call, can you delete the recording so there be no more issues?
And the thing is, I couldn't do that since technically it wasn't on my phone in the first place.
Okay.
And it happened. This phone. Let's see. And for a stupid thing. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Size. Decrease. Demodify. For A. It happened August 14th.
August 14, 2016. Okay, that was before summer school, before school's gonna start again. Okay, I can understand that. I hear you. What I was trying to tell you on the phone, can you just at least delete the recording?
And we refused to do so. I refused to do so simply because I forgot where I put it. So I'm going to delete where I don't know where it is.
But then you told me that Cam was the one who did the recording.
Yeah, because it was recorded on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because both our Samsung Galaxy phones both have a voice recorder.
Morning. Yeah, come on in.
But we can't use the voice recorder on the same phone that has a phone call. So I'll have to use the other phone in order to record the conversation sitting with the phone sitting next to the phone, physically. But I gave Cam permission to record it because we're like, dude, what is he saying? And I'm like, he's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, we'll get the recorder out quick before he does it again. And then we did that, and then that's the result. Even when I try to clean up the audio, make it even a little bit more understandable, it still
By the way, the ones on his computer is the cleaned up one.
Yeah, that is the cleaned up one, and it still sounds garbled. So, one, there was a good reason it was there, so there was no need for him to get upset, especially when he never heard it and didn't really know what was in it. He just heard there was a recording. He didn't hear what was in it. I wasn't using this recording for personal gain or malicious intent. I'm not trying to sell anything.
All the phones from for blackmail.
Or no blackmail. This was simply for personal use. And that only personal use was to understand what he was trying to say, or attempt to. So, legally, there was nothing wrong with that. we weren't going to do anything with the recording. Second, we weren't, according to the legal law, which I might as well pull up to show you.
Mikey,
We're gonna go all out. I might as well show you it.
we're not gonna get anything done now, are we? He wants to get all serious about this. I thought fresh start would be a new fresh start. But no, he just wants to
No. The idea of a fresh start is ending loose ties. Or loose ends have to be tied up. And there are multiple loose ends that were left over from last year. And even this year. I might as well just do it on my phone.
You didn't expect this. Damn, hello? Yeah. Going on today. I thought we was gonna make it short, make it sweet, play a game.
It's there right there. Texas wiretapping law. Texas wiretapping law is a one-party consent law. Texas makes it 100. In other words, I only need
You only one party to
right.
agree to.
In federal law, permits recording telephone calls and in-person conversation with the consent of at least one of the parties. This is called a one-party consent law. Under one-party consent law, you can record a phone call or conversation so long as you are a party to the conversation, which I was. That's federal law. And state law also. So, you didn't have a legal leg to stand on in the first place.
Okay.
Second of all,
Mike,
if it was invasion of privacy, that'd be like taking a picture of you exposed in the bathroom and posting it online. That's invasion of privacy. But I don't do that.
anyway, let's continue here. The phone call incident, yes. That happened right after the birthday incident.
Did Max ever talk about that recording? Did he ever hear about it?
Max doesn't know about that. Like I said, that's between you and Max. I'm not going to get involved in that.
I did tell Max that happened, that he sounded crazy over the phone and I couldn't understand what he was saying. And Max thought it was funny. That was only over Facebook Messenger, which I since have been blocked so I can't get the message out. When he mentioned that it happened.
Let's resume. Then September came in. Nothing happened on that day, right? Nothing happened in September, right?
Start of the school year,
Start the school year.
I was very, very busy with work.
So was I.
We only hung out maybe a few times there. Maybe once. We played the Cards Against Humanity near the end of September.
Yes, we did. Then October came in.
In October, that's when the birthday incident happened, and the crap hit the fan.
Right. So then you called, and you and Cam called Matt, and then Matt didn't want to talk. Then I get the phone call from him.
Right. And then we spent the next 6 months going back and forth. You were on their side, we were on our side, and we had to talk to Matt since you were apparently either dragged into it or you. Well, it sounded at first. It sounded like you were acting like you were already automatically on their side, talking about, oh, they told you all this, this, and that. And now you're mad at me. You're mad at Cam. We're mad at all us. I'm like, well, excuse me. Don't everyone blame me for all the problems at once when I didn't even do. I wasn't even doing anything criminal. I wasn't even being that much of a. I wasn't even being a jerk to them. All I did was call them out and say, hey, that wasn't nice to be that rude at Cam's birthday party. And then ask him, why did you do it? And they didn't want to give me a response.
That's when he called me.
Yeah. Like, oh, what? They don't like it if they get caught doing something wrong? Held accountable is the term. And then during that few months, then we had periods where it seemed like if I did say something, somehow Max or somebody got wind of it, and then it was as if they attempted to try to use my words against me, but twisted it all up. But when they tried to do it, it didn't sound right. So I'm like, if they're going to do that, I'm not going to talk to them. I'm going to remain silent. I'm just going to listen. I will only speak if I have to. So, during that time, when they kept using your phone to complain to us if they wouldn't do it themselves,
Yeah, they never called us. By their phone.
they wouldn't call us through their phone. They wouldn't talk to us on Facebook because they just cut us off, blocked us on their phones, blocked us on their Facebooks, and refused to apologize. Refused to even hear us out.
Let's wait a minute. Let's go back here a little bit. You went too far back here. You went way too far. Let's go back a little bit here. If I recall correctly, did you or did you not get Matt Kaczynski involved?
That was only until after it was just going on too long.
Yeah, we didn't do that until
If they would
January.
have just decided to talk to us months back, then I wouldn't have been involved.
There'd be no need for it.
There would have been no need of it. But since at the time it seemed like that it was just going way too far, and you were pulling on their side, we had to get something on our side.
John even stop and ask, was I on their side?
We occasionally tried to do that. You
And at
either
the time, you weren't listening to us.
exactly. You weren't listening to us, so we couldn't
So we couldn't say anything about it.
say anything.
So you got Matt involved.
Now, I told you before, he joined by choice.
We talked to him, and he decided to join.
We did not drag him
Help us
into it.
out.
We just described what our problem was. We asked him politely if he could help.
And that's what he's doing. He's helping.
So he said yes.
And
he said
chose,
yes.
Yeah, and he chose to say yes. He'll help. That's why he wanted to get more information about
What happened?
And then, more time went on. He just got so busy with work, he couldn't do much about it. in case he got to talk to you, hear from you, or whatever else. We updated him about that was relayed from you through your phone and what they were saying through you. Which that's when we started saying you started to sound like a spokesperson of being their mouthpiece.
Because we never hear from them. It was always from you what they wanted to say to us.
So it became a more of a every time you spoke, it was a he said, she said argument. You know, Max said this. Koenig said this. Harry said that. And I want to hear what Bashire said.
But it was mostly Max.
It was mostly what Max was saying, blah 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 blah, and then you just talking right back to me like a parrot, with paraphrasing.
Okay, now I'm gonna stop you there. One, okay. Let me recap here. Let me help you recap. When Matt said yes, he wanted more detail of what happened. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all fill him in on the detail of what happened?
We told him on side. As much as we could, yes.
And what did he say when you guys told him?
He needs to talk to the other people. He needs to talk to you to figure out and get some information from Max and Koenig.
That's what we ran into.
Koenig!
Yeah. But then we reached an impasse. We couldn't get information straight from the source because Max had blocked us. Matt couldn't talk to Max directly, and it was most certainly doubtful Max was willing to talk to him because he was already against the idea of talking to anybody about it and then, strictly sticking to his opinion and his own version of events that were incorrect.
It still is incorrect. As far as I
Max
know.
is being too stubborn to even admit there's a possibility he probably should apologize. He's too stubborn to want to bother mending friendship. In fact, as you saw, he went the opposite direction. He was so stubborn that he became foolishly stubborn. He went on the path of destruction to continue making it worse. And that's when it got to a point where not only did when he was frustrated to everyone around him, but then he started personally insulting you. That's when you finally had enough of it. When he started being all out rude, even when he started, he was still kind of mad, but then it wasn't until he finally insulted you on a personal basis did you finally see what we've been telling you, the truth, all along. Max was a huge jerk and wasn't interested in mending this friendship. Wasn't even going to try.
You jumped ahead again.
Let's sort of summarize.
You could have said that to Aunt I finished first.
Go ahead.
Okay, Matt messaged me and I talked to him. Then Max saw the messages, and then that's when Max messaged Matt. Matt kind of figured it wasn't me messaging him. He kind of figured it was Max. That's when you got the text from Max, right?
Possibly. Continue.
Then you kind of told him that he was copying you, acting like a child, right?
What?
Remember you messaged him back?
Yeah.
You said that he was acting like a child, not being an adult.
I'll probably say something close to that, yeah.
And he kind of twists the words on you.
Totally missed the point of what Cam was saying.
Yeah.
And then went on another rant.
And then tried to insult me, but it was nonetheless insulting.
But then I text you, and you knew it was me really texting you.
No.
You didn't know it was me.
No.
You thought it was still Max.
Yep.
But when I called you, you knew it was my voice.
That, yes.
Because Max can't fake your voice.
Once he can't fake my voice.
But yet I'm also not too sure either, because he could be listening in the background.
He did. He wasn't listening in the background. He was in another room.
I'm too sure at one point I actually heard him in the background.
I had to lie saying I was talking to Mike H. I didn't tell him I was talking to Cam.
What did he say?
He said, okay. So he didn't know I was talking to Cam on the phone.
Okay.
And so you texted me saying, could we meet and talk? I said, when I get off work, yes, we can meet and talk.
And that's when we talked.
Right.
And that's also when I kind of found out that you weren't actually being the middleman.
No.
Thereabouts. Okay, go ahead. But anyway, we got more information from you too.
Yeah, now
Continue.
but now you knew what was really going on with me.
A little bit more ideal, yes.
Which, like I said, and I'll add it in, that it was during that time when Max kept using your phone to talk to us, kept texting Cam to insult us. That's why I blocked you, because all he was going to do was grab your phone without your permission, and then send angry text messages to us. I wasn't going to listen to it. In case he did try to text me directly.
But if you knew it was Max, why didn't you just message me on Facebook?
Because he could have easily got on your phone and got on Facebook and texted me that way. There was no safe mode of communication other than the sound of your voice. Which even then, I can't say I could trust that entirely because he could still be listening in the background, like we said. When you hear your voice, and it's just your voice, we don't know where you are or what's going on in the background unless we hear some sound. There's no visual to complement the audio.
Okay.
That's why I prefer talking to you in person, because I can level with you. I know it's you talking to me right here, physically. There's nobody else here besides Cam, and we can cut straight through all the usual bull we go through on the phone.
Okay.
All those little problems we have with the phone, gone. It's not a phone conversation. This is a one-on-one conversation in person.
Okay.
You know, so that makes getting information from you and exchanging it so much easier, because I can talk to you, I can see you, and I can better gauge what you're telling the truth about. Because with 6 months of bullcrap, sometimes it really muddied the water trying to clearly see who was telling the truth, who was lying, and who's just making things difficult. And in the end, we figured out, after talking to you in person at McDonald's, that's when we could finally put the final nail in the coffin and say, it's not you, it's Max. Max has been the bull crapper the entire time.
You've been the problem the entire time.
Yeah, Max has been the problem the entire time. As to why he would do that the entire time, I don't know. That's an unanswered question. But right now, I don't need to worry about that. As long as he's gone, I don't need to worry about that. But what got him to do that? I don't know. Was it puppetry and he's invisible to him? Who knows? Maybe because he doesn't believe in the paranormal, they left him vulnerable to it. And then again, I got no evidence to say it was.
And then when you guys dropped me back off my house, I told you that they were on their way. It kind of caught Matt by surprise that you guys were there.
Yeah, we also decided, oh, we could stay, see if they wanted to talk.
Yeah, I thought maybe Max, I thought maybe Matt Cohen would at least might talk, say something, you know. Oh, at least look at me. But instead, when I showed up, Matt Cohen just sat there with a steering wheel and a death grip. Just frozen. I looked straight at him, he won't look at me. He looked straight at my bumper. And, you know, and Cam said, you saw what he did.
He looks scared.
Yeah, Koenig looks scared.
And when also with that situation with him just like, Max ran over, probably said something to him, and then he's like on him, and then Max came out.
And the look on Max's face basically said it all about Max's attitude when he asked us why were we here with Bashire.
Like,
Why we
coming when we weren't invited.
Yeah, he accused us of coming over unannounced and uninvited, and I told him the truth, just like I usually do. I just told him the simple truth. You asked us to talk to you at McDonald's and give you a ride home. We decided to hang out a little while in case you needed something else. And he's like, oh, well, and then he asked you, oh, is this true? And you were like, yeah, that's what happened. Like, oh, what? He got upset. Like, oh, I guess that's fine. And then he got back in the car. But at first, he got all big puffed, just like, what are you guys doing here all unannounced, uninvited? Like he's all trying to be all big and tough, like he's trying to bully us.
That was so hilarious, though.
Like, Max may think
Trying to think he's all tough.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Did y'all tell Matt about this? Matt Kaczynski, I mean.
Max may try to work out his muscles. He sure doesn't work out his brain much.
Matt Kaczynski, yeah, we talked to him about it.
And what did he say about this?
Wow.
Yeah, that's about sums it up.
Yeah, as usual, just
Wow. He didn't say, okay, then we need to talk to him again.
And he's just Max Kaczynski didn't support our theory that just proved Max really was the problem the whole time, and he really was the one being the jerk. He really was the one who was making things worse, and he just showed it right in front of us.
Yeah, by being a joke.
Bully. Matter of fact, because of Max's reaction to us being there, and then when I see him in the rearview mirror of our car, he's, Connor's like, and Max like, what are you? He's saying something to him in the car before you got back out. I couldn't tell what they were saying because they're in their car. I could see him talking like I thought Max was trying to bully Conan. It just
That's what it seemed like.
That's what it seemed like if I was going to go by the body motion. it looked like Max was bullying Conan and not to say anything or do anything. So then Max got out of the car, like we got out of the car, and then Max got out of the car, and that's when he did Bruce.
Let me help you on that one then, Mikey. They didn't know you guys were coming to drop me back off.
Yeah, we get that
So-
they weren't expecting us to be there. We're going to
They
know.
weren't too happy you guys were there.
Well, that was obvious by the expression on Max's face.
Well, stick in the hill because we're friends with you. That's what happened.
And it was further evident when he got up, he actually got mad at you for hanging out with us. And it agreeing with that, yes, we really did come over at your request to hang out. I'm like, dude, what's his problem? What the heck is Max's problem if he's gonna get mad that we hung out just because you asked us to? We were being friends, not fools.
Okay, to sum it up, you're right. Max is the problem.
I wonder if he always has been.
Which is why I did something I am proud of doing. I cussed out Max. I told him off once, well, actually twice. I told him off, and Matt called me and asked me, did something happen? Because Max seems upset, and I told him what happened, and then he talked to Max about it, and then Max kind of figured something was wrong, and he put the piece together and realized, crap, I just screwed up again.
Don't get some water.
So he wanted to make peace. He wanted to apologize.
What, to you?
Yeah.
Max wanted to apologize?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that's the first.
I told him he already have 2 strikes with me, 1 more and that's it. And I set some ground rules on him.
Ooh, you're gonna say, oh, you're gonna set some ground rules on it. I bet he's shaking.
No, he agreed with my terms.
Oh, gee. So you can say ground rules then,
But we can't. Wow.
Hold on. Let me say it again. Hold on a second. Alright. I don't know if it still works, but okay. I'll say it again. Max wanted to apologize to me.
Wow. That's a first.
That's what I said.
I don't believe it.
I said he already had 2 strikes with me, 1 more, and I'm cutting him out. And I set some ground rules on, and then I did the next thing.
What?
I set some ground rules on Max.
What? You can set ground rules to them, but we can't.
He doesn't agree with y'all ground rules.
He doesn't even know the rules. He got mad about just mentioning that we had rules now.
Yep.
We never even got to show him. He never came back.
Doesn't matter.
Well, that's his problem.
It's his point where I said stick in his ear. Who cares?
You stick it in his ear, probably go out the other ear.
If you want to be a boy, go ahead and be a boy. Because I already know what I do to boys.
I know, you'll hurt them. I know you can. You'll hurt them.
He doesn't have to hurt him. They hurt themselves.
Yep.
Never mind. Anyway,
I was
So-
the boy person at school.
then Max agreed with the ground rules. He agreed with my terms on it.
And they
You didn't even have to
all-
say what the rules were,
Oh, I told him what the rules were.
and they
And
were.
they all.
I told him, no more judging people. You need to get some serious help. Talk about law. I will not. If I hear one more about my beliefs of you, this is my beliefs of me waiting until marriage. That's it. And he agreed with the terms.
Yeah, so. The seal could make ground rules, but yet we can't.
Well, that's a double standard.
Hold on.
If you can make rules and we can't with Max, you know what it is? Say it with me. That's too early.
Sorry. Let me try again. Go ahead.
If Max can agree to rules with you, but won't even try to agree, make
Make agreeing with the rules of you guys.
you won't agree to any rules with us. Well, you know what that is called? That is called a double standard. And there you go.
I will agree with you on that one. However, he would not agree with that term. You know how he is.
What term?
Precisely what we're saying.
That's the problem.
And that's why he's actually the immature one.
We just mentioned, oh, we have some rules. We didn't
And
even
it's
say
all
what they
offended.
were, and he gets all offended. Exactly.
Only kids get offended.
You people that never learn to
And
grow
go,
up.
oh,
Well, I can't have my way. Oh, I'm so mad.
adults or people that's actually grown up, they may have something they don't like and they're like, ah, but they don't get all offended with it. With anybody, they talk it out.
Exactly.
Then all of a sudden, you might want to get ready for you trying to press that button. We was playing Smash Bros at his house, right?
Uh-huh.
He was judging about Mike. Not you, the other one. So,
Typical.
no, I'm gonna say it. I lost it. You were a little late, you know.
I'm not here for comedic effect or dramatic effect. I'm here to talk
I know.
real talk.
I lost it. I snapped.
Was this the first strike or the second strike?
He was still on 2 strikes.
So they'll make it third strike.
Well, Matt kind of put me aside to talk to me, wondering what was really going on with me. I told him I was getting tired of him judging Mike, the other Mike, what he's going through and everything, and I just couldn't take it no more. And then all of a sudden, Matt kind of knew maybe I'm still not over what happened that day.
It's possible.
You could say something about this, Mikey.
Well, that's enough of that.
Yeah. Anyway, you could say something about this, you know.
Oh, but you're still talking, so I was just listening, giving you some space to rant.
Okay.
Ramble.
So Matt pulled me aside, asked me what's going on, and I got a drink of water because I knew if I lost my temper again, my blood pressure would go to the roof. that's when he realizes, yeah, I think it's still not over, but what Max said that day. It takes time, and I'm starting to not doubt myself to tell him off, but it still takes time for me.
I think you should tell him off next time he messes with you.
Which is exactly that's what I'm gonna do. That's why I said that if you have an issue with Max, Mikey, I think you need to settle it with him.
Well, good luck with that. How am I supposed to settle it with a guy who refuses to talk?
You're not even talking.
Who refuses to communicate? He blocks me on Facebook. He blocks me on his phone. He refuses to unblock me, and has demonstrated clearly he has zero interest in ever making amends. So, after all that, why should I care? And second of all, I was talking about my nightmares. That has nothing to do with Max himself. Max Broom himself has nothing to do with the nightmares.
Well, maybe the nightmares have a pattern.
Well, if it's following a pattern, it's not that Max is bothering me. It's that something's bothering me about Max.
And then you're asking me, why am I so cheery? Why am I so cheerful all of a sudden?
Yeah. All those loose ends from last year and unresolved, unanswered questions. Have we really been so busy with our lives that we haven't noticed the little ropes around us? Metaphorically speaking, all these little things that have been binding us to one thing, or then, or a person, or another, or something like that, Mikey.
We see them.
Cameron.
Just
Okay,
ask the
now that we
question.
know each other.
Just ask the question.
Hi, nice to meet myself. Me and myself, man, is doing good.
Just ask the question.
So, your question isn't exactly about Max, but it's about me. Is it?
No. The question you asked me was, what got me so cheery? What's making you so cheery all of a sudden?
I'm sorry, I was trying to tie in your comment that I should take up my issues with Max directly, and I'm saying,
Yeah, because I don't want to get involved.
yeah, and I said, I can't do this. And frankly, I don't want to. I don't have to. He's gone! We're not friends, we don't want to be friends, and we don't care what the other thinks about the other. There's no resolution and no need to. When both agree to permanently disagree, that's the end of it. We don't have to talk to each other anymore. He doesn't have to unblock me. And without him around, everything's so much more peaceful without drama. But I didn't need. I didn't need. If he's gonna be that rude or a person around, or around you, or towards you, towards me, or towards Cam, or anyone else, well, I don't want him around. I don't want to be around rude people. Because you're gonna get nothing but rudeness. So why should I care? I don't. And I'm not going to. And second of all, the issue I had about Max wasn't about Max himself. It was about dreams and nightmares, which is an entirely different subject, different question. I felt more like I had been purposely targeted with some amateur low-level spell or whatever to have nightmares or whatever. Like someone's been trying to drill into my head or gather information about me because apparently every time they try to cast on me, it didn't work. So they're trying to get more information out of me, trying to dig through my memories, know more about me, whatever. What have I already been through that makes it so they can't do that? It's like, well, over these last few months, I feel like that's what's been going on. They've been mining for information out of my mind. And now, they've got some of the information they want, and now, there's some sort of stronghold in the middle of my head, and I don't know yet how to break through and destroy that establishment. Or dismantle it. I did not put it there. And there's several attempts that seem familiar to several things wrong that seem familiar to me because they were attempted by Matt and his evil things before. Excuse me. Where I've had been facing certain hidden enemies, personal and familiar yet different. Or familiar and yet not, Mikey. So I started this whole conversation talking about complaining about how bad my dreams were. Not about Max. I was just talking about I wanted to ask you some questions about it. I was going to ask you if you knew if Max, Koenig, Patrick, and Harry, Michael Harris had ever been involved or around cursed objects or dark paranormal activity or actively participated in some sort of spelling off the internet or a magic book or something.
Patrick, no. Mike H, his ex-girlfriend was.
What?
Okay, involved in what exactly?
You know those tarot cards and those.
Okay.
But he's not with her anymore. They broke up.
How long ago was that?
That was way too long back.
I don't like tarot cards.
Well, he dumped her anyway, so. But Mike H, no. Not him either. Matt Koenig, are you kidding me? No, we would never do that.
The other question was, had he been exposed to it?
Max, Matt, Patrick, no. Mike, no.
Technically, I would count tarot cards.
Well, we'll count tarot cards. Yeah, because of his ex-girlfriend, yeah.
So he had some exposure. Did he ever use the cards?
No. Only his ex-girlfriend did.
Did you ever watch or use them?
He never used them.
No, I'm not saying have he used it. I said was he around when she used it?
Oh. Yeah. Because she was staying at his house.
For how long?
Way too long, I remember. I don't remember.
Oh. If she was staying at his house for a long time, was she actively... How often was she using those?
She had it in her possession all the time.
Okay, how often did she use it?
Only if she was staying and if I was visiting.
Wait, you've been exposed to those same tarot cards?
I saw them, yes.
Did she ever use them around you?
She did.
You watched it? Oh, Bashire, no. Did she do a reading for you?
Let me tell you honest truth.
Honest truth. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Bashire, no. When was this?
Back in the summer
Which summer?
last year. No, it was 2 years ago.
Summer
2
20,
years ago.
2015? Oh, Bashire, no. The dark side uses tarot cards and used for fortune telling. But really, they use it for fortune screwing. They think you're doing, you know... Because there's plenty of psychics out there that are actually endowed with. The only reason they have abilities is because they have a contract with you. Either they're under the influence of a dark entity, or they have directly had a contact or contract with them. And the dark entity.
Oh, believe me, she had a bad side. Believe me, I had a bad feeling about her.
Oh. She's probably possessed by you know what. One bad deed.
Yeah. I had to put a barrier on me to make sure I don't get exposed to it.
Your barriers are imaginary.
But you know what I mean.
Hello. Oh yeah, I borrowed them so I can have some controls from the batteries. I can just come down and get them. Fine. Shit.
You have to go. I have to go. It's getting late, and we both have to be at work in the morning.
I'm going to play again.
Well, thanks to Mikey, we don't have that chance. Well, thanks to this long talk, we don't got that chance now.
Okay, no, my dad just wanted the battery supply.
Oh. Hello.
Here, you shouldn't have. That's sad. You gonna get your shoes on, Cam? No, bring them in here. Okay, now this is an important missing juicy detail I would have wanted to that should have been mentioned earlier. Because now I have a real connection as to where this negative paranormal activity has been coming from. You said she did a reading for you. What did she say?
First of all, what was the reading about? Why did she want, why did you want the reading?
I didn't want the reading. She
Okay.
kind of figured something was going on between me and my fiance.
Oh my gosh. If you had a reading from a tarot card reader with a very bad side,
And she took the reading about your relationship.
that would, oh my gosh.
And for the past couple of years, your relationship been getting worse.
And even a you know what popped out of your mouth and specifically stated that you were going to get married.
Yeah.
Yeah, because back in 2015, that's when I learned how to cast out those things. In
Yeah.
Jesus' name.
Yeah.
And I talked to you and I talked to that thing and told them off, cast them out. Bashire, that changes everything.
What?
That
Do
little.
you not understand?
Do you not understand how much trouble you got yourself into with that one reading?
Okay.
Are you saying if I never asked her to did that reading, My relationship would have been fine between me and my fiance.
Your mental stability would have been better off.
That
Okay, well, it depends. What did he say what the reading was about? What was the reading?
if I remember correctly, she had the cards and she had that book. One of those, it was like one of those, where is it?
Oh, Mike put away all the books.
Do you still have yours?
I do have some books. Oh, look, not mine.
Oh.
All the books are on the bottom.
I thought there was some in your closet in there.
Not likely. All the books I had are back in there. It's like you don't happen to know the name of it, do you? Do you know what was on the cover?
Had like some kind of dragon and some wording in it. It was a black and red book. What?
You know the book?
Come here, Miss P. You know the book?
Come here, Misty.
Totally close. Like I said, I don't remember the name of the title of the book, but I do remember the shape of it, the logo, the wording. That's all I can remember.
She's up here, Miss Kimberly.
It's like this.
It was a small book?
Yeah, it was like one of those small books.
Was it? How thick was it?
Like about this thick.
Right.
It's like this thick.
It's about an inch thick. And
It had about, I don't know how many pages was in there, but I do know it was that thick. I remember that Mike saw it. Like when
you know, like about this size.
something like that, yeah.
It's about an inch thick. You know,
Yeah,
6x8 book.
yeah.
Most likely it's probably dark side book, actually. Dark magic book. Which, well,
Like I said, he dumped her. He broke up with her.
well, it's not like it did himself a favor. Good thing. She's gonna be. It's nobody like that. It can be.
I knew she was trouble from the beginning.
Please. I'm sorry, dude. I don't have any books left in the closet.
No, I'm trying to tell you what it looked like. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I think if Cam knows what the book is, he's gonna find it.
It's closer to that.
book like that probably on Amazon. Hmm. He said it's something similar to this book in size. This is not my book. This is Cameron's. Just borrowing it. It's not this book, but similar in size and color.
What is it? I'm not. That's what you have.
Well, whatever it was, the book was probably no good.
Maybe it was a necklace. It wasn't a necklace.
It was a pendant.
Still.
But what was the reading about, and what did she say during the reading to you?
If I remember, she told me one of the cards was Justice, Moon, Judgment. Something about Judgment that really, really creeped me out. That she thinks that me and her would never last long. That me and her would just break up.
As soon as Cam gets back in, you need to say that again.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that?
I asked him, what exactly did she say to Bashir during the reading? And you said,
Something about justice. It was love, light, and so it was justice, moon, and judgment. Whatever she said that day about me and her was not a good sign, because apparently she said that there was no hope for me and her to be married. But then she said something about, I think you need to get rid of the mother.
which mother?
Her mother. My fiance's mother.
And
That one kind of disturbed me.
did she say anything else?
Yeah. When she found out about my issues, about my family, she lied. She lied to Mike, and she lied to me, saying she doesn't agree with people smoking weed. I found out something from Mike tells me that she smokes weed, and so does her mother.
She's smoking drugs. It'd be easy for her to get under the influence of something else because the mental defenses are down.
Mm-hmm.
So, what else did she say? This is starting to sound like a Sartorius episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
She said something that Mike H said that their relationship was void. You know, like a void, like there's no connection.
Okay.
She kept saying she sensed negative energy to every neighborhood in Carrollton.
Did she ever say she mentioned? Did she ever mention she sensed positive energy? Or the negative, huh?
Yeah.
You didn't ask, did she? Did you?
No.
What else?
There was another clue I saw when I was at her apartment. She had a snake.
What kind of snake?
A snake that got my friend sick.
Sick how?
I'm not sure. But it was like a white snake or white yellow snake. I don't remember what snake it was. I don't like snakes.
Was it poisonous?
I think it was. He said her snake got him sick.
Did that friend ever tell you that he got bit?
Mm-mm. I don't think it was bitten, but whatever it was that got him sick, I'm not sure what. But his mother suspected that snake was the problem. And she was rude and everything else.
Did she had any other stuff at the house? At her house?
A bomb.
Like B-O-N-G? Okay, well, let me make sure I didn't hear bomb.
No.
Not explosive. That glass thing they use to boil and smoke weed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
There was more of those books. I did see those. And some other stuff I can't remember which, but I don't remember. But that's all I remembered. Wait, there was one more thing.
Uh-huh.
Something she said about my friend. A friend of mine, Mike's friend Andy. He was very rude. She was very rude to him.
Okay, what did she say?
By his heritage, his religion.
What did she say?
I don't know exactly what happened, but according to what my friend told me, I was listening. I was in the other room with him and Mike's mom, and I found out some things that I wasn't sure if it was true or not, but tonight was true. That he says something about, she said something about something, Asian, Korean, something. I don't know the rest of the memory. But I do remember that Mike's mom said something about that when they were on vacation, when they were on the trip to London, she was very rude and very loud.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I remembered.
Was this your first ever tarot card reading? Was this your only tarot card reading?
Question. Has he ever called herself like some sort of title or something? Like a psychic or something like that?
She always kept that hidden.
Okay.
But you did say she had a meaner, darker side.
How does she do you remember how she arranged the tarot card?
She always shuffled them.
Well, yeah, of course. I'm talking about when she put it out, or how does she put it? How does she
She did it like
assemble it?
she did it like this. I don't know if these are open.
Oh, they are. Go ahead.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, go ahead.
These are here?
Yeah, I haven't used them yet.
Okay. I'm gonna use these for example. I'm sorry. She did it like this. She did it in 3 sets. Past, present, future.
Okay.
She did like this.
Mhm.
And she wanted me to pick one.
Okay. And then when, say you picked one, what did she do then?
She placed it face down like this.
Okay.
And she wanted me to pick another. As
And then
present.
we'll say you picked one. And put it down.
Yeah. Then this.
And then the thumb. And you just picked one.
Right.
Anything else?
Then she flipped over the present one like that. Then she flipped past. Then future.
Mm-hmm.
She read the present one first, then past, then the future. She didn't read the past one first, she read the present one first.
Is there any other way she do the tail cards?
She always looked in her book.
Mm-hmm. So, did she always did the 3 cards down like this?
Mhm.
Did she ever had any other cards out?
No, just those 3. Just like that.
So,
Okay.
3 only, none in another shape.
And she always looked in her book, looking at the psychic book every time.
Oh. Okay.
Where's your...
Did she ever mention how long she'd been using the tail cards?
She says she used them a lot. She's been using them since high school, I think.
Since high school.
How long it was since she was in high school?
I don't know. She never brought it up to me. She never told me. She always kept it to herself. Here, you guys.
Okay.
You're not messing with cards, it's a brand new.
How long have she had the book? It was a little bit after high school?
Yes.
About how long
I
after
don't
high
know.
school?
I don't know. I think it's when I first met her, I thought I would get to know her a little more. But when I saw those tarot cards, there was a red flag hitting me on my head, telling me something's not right with this girl. There's something wrong with this girl. I think you need to be undercover and find out what it is.
Okay, well, the good news is when she did the reading, she was still new at it.
Yeah.
However, the bad news is when she did it, she already had what she claimed the dark side.
Through my gut feeling and my red flag tuition, I sense negativity around her.
Okay. But
You seen
she
her
did say she had a dark side prior to she did a reading for you.
and prior to that, you'd also seen her behavior.
I seen her behavior, yes.
Okay.
Well, no, I heard about her behavior. And yes, I have seen it. Yes, I have seen it. Yes.
So you heard about the dark side before she did your tarot card reading.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it goes like this. The good thing is, she's a newbie. She's new at it. She doesn't exactly know what she's doing. And that's one reason why I said to go for the book. She doesn't really know what she's doing. However, the bad thing is, she already has connection to a dark entity, which could help her better learn how to use it, and even could help manipulating the person she's still in the future, what things happen to them.
In other words, trying to reprogram and preset a different destiny to better match what they claim will be about your future than the one you may eventually choose.
Yes.
In other words, they're messing with destiny.
They're changing the future's time. Yes.
Yes. But because future doesn't have a set direction for, say, unfolding, it's kind of easy to do. With unknown forces happen and stuff like that, you still get to make choices. However, it really depends on how many situations come up if those choices is blocked for you. Which, that's one thing about people with a dark entity with them when they do the tarot cards. It's not good.
You'd almost pity the people that go there to be able to enjoy and get it and pay for a tarot card reading. And they have no idea what they're getting themselves into. And you walk into that room in the back of the store, and you can just feel the room in some areas where all the tarot card readers are, because the bulk of the people there were doing tarot cards, is loaded with negative entities. I think one of them was giving me the heebie-jeebies. I'm like, I'm staying away from this guy. And a few of the other quote-unquote psychics in that room are indifferent to dark entities or light entities. They just don't care.
Which, yeah, tarot cards are bad.
Mm-hmm.
She did ask this one question though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Her birthday. She asked about her birthday.
She asked who about her birthday.
She asked me about my fiance's birthday. When is her birthday? She kind of figured it was September because she kind of figured her horoscope. She wanted to know about her horoscope.
And did you tell her what her birthday was?
No.
Good. The less detail she has to work with, the better.
But she knew how long me and her been together. She kind of figured that out already.
Did you tell her that?
No, she kind of figured it. She figured it out.
How accurate was her guess? Did she even remember? Or,
Huh?
Like, how did she deduce that?
Well, let me see if I remember. She saw me and her together. She knows we've been together. So she's adding it all together since she said since high school. She said since you and her been together since high school, y'all been engaged since 2008. She kind of put the adding together. She's saying 12 years.
Did you say that you've been engaged since high school?
No, I never told her that.
Did you ever tell her that you've known her since high school?
No.
So she never knew that you and your fiance have been hanging out since high school.
She never knew that.
But you somehow managed to deduct that.
Yeah.
But I would have said she knew that. If she knew when you graduated high school, then anybody could introduce that.
No, I didn't tell her that part.
It was like, you need to be a calculator genius to figure that one out.
So I didn't tell her that, but
Did she know your age?
no,
Did she know your birthday?
no, I never told her that either.
Did you tell her your personal information?
No, nothing like that. All she asked was about my fiance's horoscope and her birthday. That's all I know. And I never told her. What are they doing in there?
Playing. Misty hates losing. But she hisses about
Y'all do break it up.
Yeah, Misty hates losing, so every time she's losing, she goes "Ah!" at morning. So
Okay, what are we looking at here?
You in trouble, and everyone she came into contact with is in trouble. And that trouble follows you around, and it's been following Harris, and well,
Andy.
like I said, everybody she met or she knew,
Oh my
trouble
God.
followed.
She always stays at his house every time when we really talk to him.
I'm sorry, what?
I remember. He calls me upset. One time I was gonna stay at his house, but then they got into a big fight. And I went home early. I tried to figure out what was going on, and then that's when I realized that something might have happened between him and her. They had a fight. They got back, they worked things out. They said they worked things out, they were okay. Next thing I knew something didn't add up to that story, because I said, okay, they said they're back together, they said okay, they're okay. But it didn't make sense, it didn't click. It did not click like that. It didn't click like that, because it like this. Like, there's some pieces missing. And so when I stayed at his house, I overheard a fight between him and his mom. They took off because something about she's overstayed her welcome. She needs to go. He got upset. They both took off. They didn't know I was still in the house.
When was this?
Around almost close to the summer, almost right near Mother's Day.
on 2015, or what year was that?
That was around 2015. Yeah, on Mother's Day.
Mother's Day is in May.
That's what I'm saying.
May 2015?
Yeah.
Oh, great. That makes it even a bigger chunk of time. It wasn't just summer. It was in May? How long did you know her?
About 3 weeks.
Just in May, or
It was in March. It was he stayed with her. She stayed in that house since March, end of March, all the way to the middle of May near Mother's Day.
about 2.5 months.
That's it.
Almost 3 months.
Yeah.
Oh. you like some paranormal problem,
What do you mean?
or rather, because you were in direct contact with her, and you were there during the fight, right?
No. Mike took me back home that day. He took me back home early and dropped me back off my parents' house.
So you went home before
The fight broke out. Yeah.
I thought you said you were left. They left you, and they didn't know you were still there.
No. The first fight they had was when I was going to stay over. But Mike rescheduled and wanted to cancel, took me back home. The next night, it was around almost to May, that's when the fight broke out.
She was fighting with who?
He was fighting with his mother because of her.
Harry.
Yeah,
Harry's fighting with his mom because of his girlfriend,
right.
his second girlfriend.
Yeah. And that's when they both took off. They didn't even notice I was still in that room. They didn't even notice I was still in the house. Until his mom saw me and she's like, wait, you're still here? I thought you was with them. I said, no. And that's when she realizes he didn't even know she was still here. And that's when his mom talked to me and told me what was going on. And then Annie comes by, and then Annie we tell her what's going on, and that's when she realized that she was the problem.
And this is why you don't date psychics. In general. There's more problem to them than you realize. Okay, but still, now what was once he did the reading, what was the words he mentioned?
Known, justice, judgment.
Was it in that order, or?
I can't remember for sure, but I do know that's what it was saying. Then she said something about fool, magician. Last one was I better not say this last one, but I have to say it. Was the death card.
DEATH.
Oh.
That's trouble. Okay, Lucille. Okay. Did you look at the card that she used?
Let me see.
We know I want to play a little gentle. She doesn't like losing. That doesn't mean she doesn't win you. She's not holding back. She's going to get I want to win. But is that the call?
That's it. Those
That's
are the
the
ones.
call?
Those are the ones. Because that tower. I remember that tower.
Yes. Okay. See the thing, yeah, this deck has death in it, Mike. Oh man. Okay, but anyway. Well, okay. So she actually gave you 2 sets of 3 cards. Since you mentioned 6 of them. Or who was this cards for?
Those were hers.
Those 3. You said she gave you 3 cards and then gave you another 3 cards.
I want to know what the cause was that of the reading on you,
Okay. Let me see if I can
Not-
remember.
on herself.
Let me see if I can remember.
Wait, she was reading herself?
She was trying to practice it on herself, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What cause did you got?
Let me see. I need to zoom in. The High Priest.
Okay.
The Sun.
Okay.
And the Tower.
Okay.
Those were the three. I remember. And we should get going because it's already 11.
I know that. I was late. I'm like, this is. Yes, this is important that we discuss this and figure this out because this opens a whole new branch of possibilities. You've been exposed to tarot cards. You had a reading by a psychic with a dark side and a very mean one for that. And it happened. The reading happened where?
At Harry's house.
At Harry's house. Did you do readings for Harry?
No, he would have told me.
Are you sure? Because if they're boyfriend or girlfriend, you think
They used to be boyfriend, but they're not together anymore.
I said if they were, and when they were, you think she would do one for Harry?
She would have if he would have told me, but he never told me that.
Did you ever ask about it?
I did once, yes.
Did you say anything?
He said no. She didn't do no reading on him.
I find that fishy.
That's what I thought too. I was like, I asked him, "Are you sure she did a reading on you?" He said, "Yeah."
What if she did one on him without him knowing about it?
Then he didn't get permission then.
Yes, but you don't want to involve in a dark entity in a tarot card deck. They don't exactly care about your permission.
Doesn't matter. He's supposed to have permission.
Yeah. I know. I do. That's. I'm not psychic. I don't exactly know how tarot
I'm
cards
not either.
work either. So like, and frankly, I'd rather not. And there's one temptation I want to take. Stay formative.
Okay, at least we agree with that.
And on second of all, and another thing this year, if this happened in May 2015 and you attended our own meetings together, me, and Cam, that would talk about what strange things happening, and weren't you there when we came up with the rules and stuff in general, what we shouldn't do for ourselves? And one of the things was what objects not to participate or be around. Were you there for that meeting? Because I know tarot cards came up as don't touch those.
I wasn't there.
I'm sure we told you about it.
You never brought it up to me because remember, I was at work. I was still working at that time before I lost my job.
I was still working for Tom Thumb back then too.
So it never brought it up to me. So it never brought up.
Well, you can go on.
If I would have known about those before, if I would have known about that from the beginning, none wouldn't have happened.
I kind of hoped it would have gone without saying, but you really shouldn't mess or be around the tarot card deck, especially not with an active psychic user.
I didn't know she was one of those things. I didn't know.
Even if they have a tail card, and if they have a tail card, even if they don't claim the psychic, you still don't mess with it.
You don't ask for a reading, and you leave.
Especially the ones have the death card. That's very dangerous.
Plus, if there's a dark entity to enforce that particular card, that just might try to kill someone. Just to make a prediction come true. Which essentially is stage. It's stage magic. Like a self-fulfilling prophecy. They say it's psychology. You say something and then you do it.
Did you want it back?
Yes.
Well, let's go, Mike.
Keep this in your packet.
What's this for?
It's a lens wipe.
Thank you.
Got it for free.
Thank you.
Hey, what's this?
Photo. Give me his deck back.
I have this. So
Hey, thanks for telling about us. Tell that. She didn't do readings about other people, right? She didn't know about us.
I never brought it up. I never mentioned you guys, so I never brought it up.
Thank goodness. I don't want to be involved in that further.
Well, here's the thing. You may want to mention this to Matt.
He's going to have some choice words to tell you.
Let's not mention it to him then.
No. That's exactly why we have to mention it to him. You need to hear his opinion about it.
And what's your opinion about it?
You screwed up.
What?
Bad
I
way.
didn't know what was going on.
You still screwed up.
Ignorance does not mean you're protected.
Yeah. I knew the hard way that what you don't know can hurt you. And sometimes it really will, in ways you don't know yet.
But keep in mind, it never happened. The prediction never came true because me and her are still together.
She said there's no hope in you getting married. She never said there was no hope in you staying friends.
Staying friends, they staying together.
You know what I mean? And was that not what she said?
That, and she said something about her mother's gonna continue interfering. Besides, they were over a long time ago. They were over in May.
Yeah, but the house was never cleared. All the negatives that they spent with their time together there. And here's house, was it?
There was still some negativity because that pendant.
Oh,
I mentioned it to Mike about there was something still in your car, and he asked me what it was, and he said, "This little dragon thing." And he said, "Oh yeah, let me throw that away." If he threw it away, he threw it away.
that doesn't mean the curse of it is gone. That can linger longer than the physical object.
Keep in mind, his mom didn't like her anyway, so
Did she had any other items or tools other than what you already mentioned?
she had medication, medicine. That's all I know.
Kind of medication.
Like bipolar medication.
Oh, crying out loud. Remind you of someone?
Okay, let's go.
What that reminds me of again?
You used to live your bipolar, and you wanted to get on meds for that, but really, you was possessed in the head and broken.
Come on, Mike. All right.